Good afternoon. Welcome to Spring Convocation. This is a gathering that gives us the opportunity to spend time together and to share our excitement, our concerns, our plans, acknowledge the challenges that lie ahead. We are awaiting news from Washington on the DACA situation, and our sense of that shifts a little bit every day, but we're trying to remain patient and stay in touch and stay current and communicate out to you. And we're also waiting to see what happens in Sacramento about our latest CSU budget proposal, knowing that in both cases our students' futures are at stake. But at the same time, with those kinds of darker concerns afoot, we begin this semester with great excitement for the outstanding work that each of you, I second what Vina said, each of you carry out every day. With each of the grants and awards that we are given, that our faculty earn, they bring greater distinction to the university. And I will tell you that this is an outstanding year in that regard. We are out ahead of our grants and awards in past years and chugging along. So I'm really happy to see that and very grateful for all of the industry that the faculty puts into making that happen. For instance, the College of Engineering, Computer Science, and Technology has received an NSF grant of $1 million. I always start with $1 million, though that's the baseline. An NSF grant of $1 million to increase the number of students who are graduating in STEM. And that's one among an array of very substantial grants and recognitions that allow us to move the mission forward and affect the lives of so many of our students. We continue to create alliances that leverage our resources and that provide wonderful opportunities for our students and for the community. Last fall, we announced Achieve LA, which is a partnership with the YMCA of Metropolitan Los Angeles that creates a pathway for students from underserved communities to attend the university. It actually guarantees that students in some of our most challenged areas in Los Angeles, after they complete a number of activities with the Y and with Cal State LA, are guaranteed admission at this university, and that for them is a dream they had not imagined. So we're very excited about that. Earlier this year, we announced our new partnership with Ballet Hispanico, the nationally renowned dance company based in New York and headed by Kate Lear, who is on our President's Council and is the daughter of Norman Lear, and is very excited about the partnership with Cal State LA. Through the partnership, we're going to offer dance performances, community dance classes, workshops, arts and interdisciplinary courses at Cal State LA and in the larger community. In addition, as you drive up the hill into the university, you'll see that construction has started on the Rongshangshu Bioscience Innovation Center, which will house our bioscience incubator. And in connection with that incubator, our second cohort of LA BioStart Fellows has commenced. I think that by providing opportunities like this to bioscience innovators and to the industry, we not only transform the lives of our students who participate in all of this, we invigorate and transform the communities themselves and really become a landmark for bioscience innovation, developing a premier achievement that we have had for years and years here and that we're really just building upon in big ways. In April, we'll dedicate the Patricia A. Chin School of Nursing, which U.S. News and World Reports ranks as one of the best in the country. Patricia Chin, as many of you know, is a two-time Cal State LA alumna, and along with her husband, Dr. William Chin, provided the second largest gift in the history of the university. Add on to that the appearance next month of Dr. Terrence Roberts, an alumnus who was part of the Little Rock Nine, who will serve as our Mind Matters lecturer, one of several we're bringing here this year as part of a whole array of great Mind Matters initiatives. So Debbie and I both hope that you will be able to attend that lecture. It should be a great one. As many of you know, Terry Roberts faced down mobs and endured threats and attacks as he and others integrated Central High School in Arkansas. His experiences and his self-discoveries during those times will, we're sure, resonate with our students today and offer lessons for surviving and thriving during difficult times. These people, these stories, these are what we need to talk about in the halls of Washington, D.C. and in Sacramento. Stories of transformed lives, prosperous futures, proud alumni who give back in so many ways. Our legislators need to hear from us about the ingenuity that is at play at the university every day. How our faculty do the hard work of securing all those grants to increase resources. How we take what we have and leverage it with community partners so that our students will have greater opportunities. How we support the region, helping to fuel the economy. The governor's initial budget proposal for the CSU is significantly less than what we need. The CSU Board of Trustees requested $262 million from the state to support 5 areas of investment. Those 5 areas are our graduation initiative, 2025, compensation increases for CSU employees, enrollment growth, infrastructure and deferred maintenance needs, and mandatory cost increases for healthcare, minimum wage, retirement, etc. We requested $277 million. The governor offered $92 million. That's a little short of the budget request, and it quite honestly and accurately, it does not cover the university's minimum obligations. So it's the beginning of advocacy season. I'll be traveling to Sacramento in March for Advocacy Day, meeting with our legislators on a number of occasions before and after that trip, going to DC to speak with our elected representatives. And I'm asking that each of you lend your voices to this struggle for the critical funding that the CSU needs. We need to stand together and tell the stories of Cal State LA, which is, of course, one of the exemplary representatives in the larger CSU. Talk about the work of our students, our faculty, our staff. We know that increasing numbers of our students are meeting the goals of graduation 2025. They're graduating in, 5 years rather than 6, 4 years rather than 5. Now, more than ever, the university needs to urge and be able to pay for that kind of progress, and to be a place that accommodates greater numbers of students, not fewer. So the budget issue is an important one, and we'll be moving forward and hoping for a good finish to the fiscal year on that front. We look forward to the weeks and months ahead with a great appreciation of all that we do every day and all the wonderful students, faculty, staff, and larger community that Cal State LA represents, but also with a heightened awareness of the contentious times in which we live. The debates taking place on the national stage, the policies and decisions coming out of Washington have great impact on the lives of the university community. We've heard the disheartening decision affecting individuals with temporary protected status that may require thousands of El Salvadorans and Haitians to leave this country. Soon we may see action taken on DACA. The fluid nature of that situation has required the university to remain vigilant and ready to act with urgency when that's warranted. In January, after a federal judge issued an injunction that reinstated DACA, we moved quickly, informing students of the urgent need to submit DACA renewal applications, providing assistance with application fees, taking the photographs that are needed for the application, and giving them all of the resources to do that without cost to them. That application window, by the way, is still open. It continues to be open. The Supreme Court is going to review the lower court's finding that DACA is still in force, but we may not get a decision from them until June, which I hope means that we have even more time ahead for us in which people can renew their applications and enjoy the benefits of DACA status. But I'm not telling anyone out here who might need to renew an application to wait. Right? Please come and see us, come up to the Dreamers Resource Center, come up and see us and take care of that right away. Last week we had an immigration forum to address developments with DACA and temporary protected status. The numbers of students who received DACA application assistance and the sizable turnout for the forum, I think, demonstrate the deep concern that runs throughout our community. And we will be continuing to have such forums and information events and assistance events as we move forward. Our position on Dreamers and our most vulnerable immigrant students is clear and unequivocal. These are our students, these are our colleagues, they're part of our DNA, and our Dreamers and other immigrants deserve what every Cal State LA student receives: a life-changing education that will allow them to fulfill their potential and to contribute to society. Our ability to boost our students up the ladder of prosperity has, as you know, I say this again and again and again, earned Cal State LA national acclaim, #1 in the nation for the upward mobility of our students. And that has also earned us a powerful platform that we can use for the public good. Above the current den of divisiveness, I think that's an original phrase, den of divisiveness, we speak here about inclusion. Inclusion is at the heart of a Cal State LA education. It's a pillar of our strategic plan. Our graduates have had classmates from all over the city, the nation, and the world. They've engaged with and learned from students of different religions, races, genders, nationalities, in an environment in which all are respected and valued. Dreamers and other immigrant students are a part of the rich milieu at Cal State LA that prepares our students so well for success. They are not a drain. They are not scofflaws. These are other people's terms. They are students who contribute hours and hours of service in community-based organizations and schools throughout the city, practicing Cal State LA's ethic of engagement and service for the public good. They're students who are learning to be leaders through their positions in student government, clubs and organizations, and elsewhere. They're students who are becoming ambassadors for higher education, returning to their families and communities with clear evidence that the promise of higher education is being fulfilled. One of our greatest and most imaginative American writers, Ursula Le Guin, who passed away just a couple of weeks ago, wrote about the role of imagination in society. She said this: "We will not be free if we do not imagine freedom." And continued that we cannot demand that anyone try to attain justice and freedom who has not had a chance to imagine them as attainable. This points toward a fundamental gift of higher education, to liberate the imagination, to fuel the imagination, to help students attain what they imagine. So as we witness the polarization of the nation, we have to widen our embrace of our student populations. By doing so, we remind the nation of the value of inclusion, which is essentially an embrace. It's an act of love, right? That's why we must stand for dreamers, and we must continue to increase the population of African American students on campus, and to support those who are here, and continue to be vigilant in our support for and protection of those I've mentioned, along with others who have come under attack: the LGBTQ community, immigrants, victims of harassment and violence, Muslims, and other religious minorities. The role of the university in these divisive times is to stand for the values and principles that are central to higher education and to a civil society, in passionate and compassionate dialogue with one another. During my investiture address 4 years ago, I pointed out the work of Kenneth Burke, who said that each of us is, as he put it, one voice in a dialogue. Put several such voices together, he says, with each voicing its own special assertion. Let them act upon one another in cooperative competition, and you get a discussion that, properly developed, can lead to views transcending the limitations of each individual voice. That's what we want here. That's what we want to continue. That's what we do. We're engaged in a dynamic dialogue, and through that dialogue, we refine and perfect our own ideas and perspectives. 4 years ago, I could not foresee the rapid decline in the quality of our national conversation, nor did I know how critical the presence of passionate and compassionate dialogue would be to the university and the nation in 2018. This city and this nation need Cal State LA. They need us to send into the world those students who have been a part of this community and who graduate taking with them the values and ethics that we hold dear. Our students carry these into the world with them, as they have in the past, in order to find solutions, to innovate, to design, to build, to heal, to engage in the passionate and compassionate dialogue. In March, next month, Cal State LA will commemorate the 1968 East LA walkouts, the students who walked out in '68, 50 years ago, to protest inequity in public education, helped alter our systems of education for the better. The leadership of the walkouts included Cal State LA students and alumni. We will, beginning on March 1st, host a series of events, including a photo exhibition, an educational forum, and most notably a walk-in for 1,000 LA school students who will explore their history and hear why higher education must be in their future. We want these to be our future students. And to be able to balance a walkout with a walk-in 50 years later to a university with open arms is quite a nice moment. This year also marks the 50th anniversary of the founding of our history-making Chicano, Latino Studies Department. Our department was the first in the nation. It continues to be a national leader. And the nation will mark a somber anniversary, the 50th anniversary of the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who, of course, led the movement that changed the course of history in the United States. As we celebrate Black History Month, we remember the contributions of generations of African Americans to the goals of inclusion and social justice. Well, these are peculiar times. We're shaped by history, but we can shape it as well by resisting the tide of bigotry and bias, by standing together and telling our story. You're all doing that. I'm just asking you to keep doing it, right? I want to thank all of you for continuing to carry out the work that makes Cal State LA the premier public comprehensive university in the heart of Los Angeles. We would not be the great institution that we are without you. So, welcome to 2018. It's going to be interesting. Thank you all very much. Okay, there are mics out there, so if you need one, use it, but I'd be happy to respond to questions or comments, observations, rumors, anything you'd like to talk about. Yes?
Hi, President Covino. It's Becky from the International Office. Nice to see you again. I would like to know if there is to be a budget shortfall, how are we positioned to address that here on campus?
Well, we're pretty well positioned to address it in the, what I would say, the short term. That is, we have, it'll depend on how we end up, right? So we have a sense of the worst case, and I actually think that it'll be better than that. We have very strong support from our legislative representatives. We need to do a better job of persuading the governor that it would not be a good thing to increase the rainy day fund in California by making it rain on Cal State LA, right? We all know that for every dollar that the state invests in a Cal State LA student, the state gets back $6. So we'll continue to make that case and talk about the great things that we've done. And our plans currently continue to call for growing the faculty and staff with 50 plus more faculty searches in the fall, accepting a student population that expands access for students for qualified students who deserve a chance. We had about 60,000 applications for fall 2018 to Cal State LA, and it's another record for us. And we're right now going through the laborious but heartening process of determining admissions and moving on from there. So we expect to take all those steps. We're going to continue all the enterprise on campus. We've got a great new structure connected with the LA Football Club that's going up. We're going to start a new parking structure soon. And we have our plans submitted to the Chancellor's office for our new 1,500 bed housing structure with a wonderful sort of eating area at the bottom of it. The track and field are renewed and beautiful, and that's due to the generosity of the Los Angeles Football Club and that partnership. And we continue to renovate as we can our buildings across the campus. You see that physical sciences is cleaning out in order to revitalize itself. So all of this will continue. We have no plans to pull back on anything because we've been careful in the last few years to have the resources to continue knowing that we could hit a down year and to be prepared for that. So I'm feeling pretty good about it, but I am also feeling pretty aggressively interested in a better budget for the CSU with which we could do even more. Walter.
Hi, thank you. I just wanted to say that was a really nice speech.
Thank you,
And
Walter. Thank you.
it reminded me that you don't have to have a lot of rhetoric or a lot of bombast to say the right things. Thank you.
Thank you, Walter. It's nice of you. Thank you. Walter has once again silenced the room. You will notice in the back where the cookies are, there are cards that say save the date, April 16th, Monday, April 16th. The date saving event will occur at the end of the day, and that's all I can tell you. You are all invited. I should also note, in case you're paying attention to, or you're trying to figure out what to do on the weekend, that this Friday is date night at Cal State LA, which Debbie and I started because we kept running into people who met and fell in love at Cal State LA. So we said, why don't we bring them back here with their families? And so that's been something we've been doing annually. I would say that even if you didn't meet and fall in love at Cal State LA, if you wish you had or you would like to meet and fall in love at Cal State LA, we still have date night capacity for you. And the biggest treat of the night, I will reveal this in advance because it may get a flurry of interest in it, is that our daughter, Allie, got married in the same church that the Wayfarers Chapel that Debbie and I did 30 plus years ago. And so we had that wedding, and we have the picture of Debbie and me on that altar 30 years ago, and then next to it we have the picture of us now. It doesn't look like we've changed a bit, and that picture will only be available for viewing at date night. So, all right, look, have some more cookies, put some in your pockets. I'll be happy to talk with any of you who want to stop by and say hello. Thank you very much for coming today. Thank you for all that you do.